Masters. Birdie putts here at the 12th. And, we saw yesterday Rays Creek rushing past still this morning.
Always looks like a postcard, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
One of the most idyllic spots in world's golf. Amen corner. 11 green, 12 tee. And 12 green, of course.
You think of the rarefied air that one has to be in to even get on this side of Rays Creek as a Masters participant, and then even more rarefied where Phil Mickelson spends his Tuesday evenings during Masters weeks at the Champions Dinner. One of only 8 players to have won the Masters at least 3 times. Mark, you mentioned his play in the PGA Tour Champions events, the 50 and over circuit. He won both of his starts. What could that mean for him, tasting victory?
Well, it's always good to win no matter where you play. Gives you that jolt, that self-confidence. The thing about Phil is no matter where he's playing, he's always experimenting. So even though he's on the 50+ circuit, he's got this youthful exuberance about him. And the thing about it, the golf swing hasn't sacrificed any length. He's actually gotten longer off the tee. And the touch around the greens remains the same. The stroke remains pure. And he knows these greens as well as anyone else. The line just leaked for a little pace. But like we've always said, Grant, 3 on 12 is not a bad deal.
Long day for all of these players. They came back this morning to play anywhere from 5 to 10 holes. They'll play a full 18 today. Morikawa.
Saucy. Yes, sir. Beautiful imagination. Great touch. Used a little hybrid from greenside. Perfectly executed.
On the tee at the 11th, Matthew Fitzpatrick.
One-dimensional ball flight, always a little lower than standard on the tour, about 80 feet in the air. But that little fade shot, you can set your wristwatch on it.
Brooks Koepka and Justin Thomas are playing there with Fitzpatrick. We'll see them in a moment. This is Danny Willett at 13.
Okie dokie.
Oh, he's hit 2 beautiful approaches at 13 today. This morning hit it to about 12 feet. Even better here in his second try. Justin Thomas off a bogey at 10 to start his second round. Good start to this 11th.
Golf swing has shown a tremendous amount of consistency over the last few seasons. Things haven't changed very much. He keeps the approach with his father Mike to the technique very consistent. It's proving fruitful.
Hybrid for Morikawa, putter for Scott, who's a little bit closer to the green.
And the difference between those two clubs, the hybrid has a little more energy in the face. That ball will shoot off there a little bit more, and he got the ball to travel up the hill a little easier than Adam Scott just did.
Abraham Anser for birdie. Okay, to 4 under par goes the former Oklahoma Sooner into the top 10. Well, when we we last saw Brooks Koepka, he was 2 over par earlier today at Amen Corner. But he eagled 15, birdied 16, birdied 18 to shoot 2 under par 70. He did bogey 10 his first hole of round 2, so he's 1 under for the tournament. 13, Fowler.
Earlier this morning didn't hit the best of wedges from down here, but that's a beauty to this front hole location. Round 2 hole location on 13, infinitely easier than the round 1 version.
But in neither case does he give himself a chance to go for the green in 2. Scott for par.
Big save. That is a big save.
All right, coming off the birdie at 12, this is Abraham Ancer at 13. A good one. A hole that sets up so well for the left-handed players, allows them to go with driver almost all the time, whereas the right-handed swingers historically have hit 3-wood to try to turn it over. A little easier club to turn over. So many now, of course, that the bigger hitters are taking it straight over the trees. Let's watch Phil.
It's easier to fade a straight-face driver. Just swing to the right of this thing a little bit.
Oh no.
Keep the face open.
Oh
and that
no, get
should
right.
cut.
Get right. Go. Oh man. There's a gap in the trees, man. It's just a 5-yard draw from there. Okay.
He can exhale now. Flirted with those trees on the left. We saw Rory Mcilroy there earlier en route to a bogey. Rory shot 2 over 74. Adam Scott at the 12th.
He really is swinging beautifully right now. Everything very well organized. I'm waiting for him to catch fire. Caddy John Lamonti likes that, as do the smattering of folks who are getting to watch Amen Corner.
We're at the 13th green, and you can see just how close to the penalty area and that tributary of Rays Creek the hole is cut here for round 2. Ricky Fowler lining up a putt for birdie. Mark, this is his 43rd major championship as you look at how the 13th is played. Second easiest so far in round 1 and the first player of round 2. 43rd major championship, 11 top 10s 3 times. He's finished second.
Started to battle with his golf swing, and so sought out the counsel of John Tillery, and they've made a few wholesale adjustments. And Ricky speaks to the fact that things are improving, but the improvement on the practice area is one thing. The ability to trust under pressure at the highest level, that's entirely another. And I don't think Ricky's just there yet.
Just too much pace. So he's going to fail to birdie or eagle 13 in each of his first 2 rounds. John Augenstein has a short putt for birdie in a moment. Danny Willett even closer in 2, less than 6 feet for an eagle 3. And he needs it.
Had a good look back on 12. Was unable to convert that. There shouldn't be much movement. May just want to drip to his right, and it'll be fast.
No hole.
Hey, hey.
Nice catch. And a pair of crystal glasses for Danny Willett for that eagle at 13. Justin Thomas at 11.
Just a prolific iron player. Eyes up and down the flag. He likes the look of this.
Yeah. Good shot.
Nicely done. Always nice when you have a comfortable yardage in the correct club into 11. Lets you swing through there freely. If you're having to try and manufacture a strike with the wrong club, it's always daunting.
Four-time major champion Brooks Koepka. Asking for it to sit, and if anything it will do on these greens this week, it is sit, especially at this 11th. Morikawa at the 12th.
Hold on.
Trying to hold off the follow through there. Just fade one a touch. Whoops.
Such a tough shot coming up for Morikawa. Birdie putt here for John Augenstein to get into the top 10. Incredible. He's played this 13th and 3 under in 2 rounds.
He likes Azalea. Sergio Garcia likes Azalea too. A number of players love this par 5.
Tyrrell Hatton.
Breeze
Not as
just
far
freshened a little bit.
over the green as Morikawa. Yeah. Fowler for par at 13. Frustrated that he's failed to birdie or eagle 13 in both rounds, but he is in good shape, tied for 19th at 3 under. This is Bernd Wiesberger.
From down where he was, all the way in behind those pine trees, you could have hooked that ball a good 40-50 yards to get it all the way around the corner. And that was after taking relief from the tributary for Burnt.
That's the Morikawa second shot. So he's hit hybrids from off the green on both holes here at Amen Corner. Phil Mickelson caught a break when his tee shot found dry land. Here's his second.
This is a Phil type play.
Uh-oh. Wow.
You know, with his short game, I wonder why he just didn't lay it up to like 30, 40, 50 yards and wedge from there. Anyway, back to Hatton.
How much easier was his closer to the back edge of the green than Morikawa's?
Oh, that makes a huge difference. The less time you have to get the golf ball to spend on the fairway grass, the easier judgment of pace becomes. So Hatton with the easier shot, and he did convert. It's one thing to have the easier shot. It's another to go ahead and convert.
All right, some birdie putts here for this group that includes Matthew Fitzpatrick. This is a huge day for Rory Mcilroy. Huge round for him. A par at the 10th.
Oh, I get lucky.
Uh-oh. That got lucky enough.
We'll see how lucky that was. He knew it wasn't great. Brooks Koepka, chance to answer his bogey at 10 with a birdie here at the 11th.
Ordinarily, this will have a lot of break from the left-hand side. Green's a little slower. So a number of players have been over-reading putts like that.
Yes, I was just going to say the same thing. All those years that we've done Amen Corner, it feels like this whole location is the hardest one to read in terms of putts. Dustin Johnson back on the tee at this 11th. said way left, and it is. Maybe the pine straw, perhaps.
You know, this whole location you talk about, Grant's the easiest to get to, but the hardest to read. But right where Justin Thomas is, I wouldn't say it's straight up the draw of the green, but most of the water, if rain fell down, would run down in that direction. So uphill, you can be aggressive. It will break to the left.
Justin Thomas to get within one of the leaders. Mark, we speak of players needing reps around Augusta National in tournament competition. Justin Thomas, here are his 4 years, beginning with his first appearance: 39th, 22nd, 17th, 12th. Getting better each year. Scott at 12.
So you're saying if he's a share, he's trending right now. I nearly said a Scott.
Yeah, well, again, like it's been for McIlroy, just getting close to the lead for Justin Thomas has been the challenge as we go back to the tee at 11 and can't lay. Not a lot of curve to that ball flight. And now the par putt for Fitzpatrick up ahead as the wind freshens just a touch. We really haven't had much these first 2 days.
That freshening wind will firm up the greens a little bit. And that's very nicely holed.
Outside the cut line. Back to 13 and Wiesberger, and Mark, we're hearing that the relief that Wiesberger got was not accompanied by penalty. A ball was embedded, and he is going to just stay up and have that putt for birdie. So no penalty stroke. Now Phil Mickelson went in with his second. He'll be hitting his fourth with very little green to work with. On the tee at 13, Adam Scott.
He has enough power to take it up and over the corner. That's where he's looking. Whoa. Pulled out a whisker. Haven't heard any trees.
And Koepka for his par. You just never count out Koepka. Wherever he is made himself a fixture at the top of the leaderboard, at least on the first page, since 2016. Hatton at 13.
As accurate as he is, I'm surprised he's not going with driver. Choosing just to put the ball in play off the tee. Even with 3 metal, he will be long enough to get to the green in 2.
Fitzpatrick at the 12th.
Really thumped down through that one. Beautiful strike and nice control.
Yeah, I mean, I could get that other one there.
Fourth shot for Mickelson at 13. Has he dropped it yet?
Yes, and dropped it in the second cut. So looking to slide the leading edge of the lofted wedge under there and let it run up the hill a little bit more.
Yep. Fourth shot.
All right. Nicely done.
And for par. It'll be quick. And Justin Thomas at the 12th.
Always a checkpoint there in that pre-shot routine. Get the club lined up going back. He and his dad Mike always work on lining the top of the backswing up. It facilitates a good downswing.
And back at the 11th. Second shot for Dustin Johnson. Tied for the lead with Paul Casey.
That was a very sound looking golf swing.
Well, he stared that down, didn't he?
And a tremendous shot. Great distance control. A simple putt up coming.
Indeed. Uphill. Chance to get to 8 under par. Koepka at 12.
Standing way up into the air. It is slightly down breeze. Okay.
This is where his Masters took a dramatic turn. Last year made double bogey here, came back, made eagle at 13. Cantlay at 11.
You won't see many balls there. You will not see many balls there.
You'll see a lot off the green right of that, like where Adam Scott was, but what a shot from Cantlay as well as Dustin Johnson. Answer at the 13th.
He's a high spin player with a wedge, can really get these to fizz. There you are.
Watch it.
It's his thing. He can really graze the paint of golf balls with wedges.
Sooner said than done. And a chance for birdie. McIlroy off the trees with his tee shot. Can he take advantage? Dustin Johnson tied with Paul Casey. Johnson with a putt for birdie in the lead in a moment. For live streams, scoring, news, and more, visit masters.com. Wiesberger for birdie. Five can feel deflating at 13. It's not as bad a score as sometimes it feels. And certainly Phil Mickelson would be happy with a 5 today. This is McIlroy from just off the green. That for par.
It's just been tough sledding for Rory since the start. Bogeyed his first hole of the tournament. And it's been a hard slug. Nothing really going his way.
Phil Mickelson for par to stay 4 under. And no one has played historically this 13th hole better than Phil Mickelson, and there are a lot of ways that could have become a bogey or worse, Mark, and instead it's a par. Tee shot was wayward, caught a break into the penalty area with his second shot, and still walks away with a 5. Left-handed swinger, right-handed righter, the opposite of Jordan Spieth. Justin Thomas at the 12th.
It's easy to overread this one and leave it out to the right-hand side. He's done good work with John Graham on this putting stroke. A lot more flow to it. Pace control has been more appropriate.
Is it enough? Oh. Justin Thomas is one of those who said he watched a lot of the coverage from Eamon Corner and elsewhere. Patrick Cantlay with a birdie 3 at the 11th. Our third birdie of the day already, and we've only had 6 groupings come through. Koepka at the 12th for birdie. Might he have learned something from Thomas's putt?
I would expect so. He's a more aggressive putter than Justin Thomas. Perfect.
Here it comes. Brooks Koepka back to even par on his round today, and 2 under for the Masters tournament. Florida State Seminole learned something from the Alabama man. Now Dustin Johnson eyeing a putt that would give him the lead outright and give us our first player at 8 under for the week.
Went and consulted with Dr. Craig Farnsworth, who helped Nick Felder to a lot of success, and it was recommended that he look at putts from multiple directions. Dustin tended to just want to have one look and pull the trigger. He's taking a lot more care on the greens, using a line on the golf ball to help him align and make sure he's perfectly on point. And the results have proven as such.
For the lead.
Easy as that.
Number 1 in the world golf rankings, number 1 of the Masters through a day plus. And this is remarkable already as we take another look here, Mark, at Dustin Johnson. 5 birdies in round 1. Now already 4 in round 2, and we are just getting going.
The brothers Austin having a fun time around the grounds at Augusta National.
Rory Mcilroy 10 shots behind Johnson, stays that way. There is no 10-shot rule this year for the first time in nearly 60 years at the Masters. Only the top 50 in ties will make the cut. Fitzpatrick at 12. 2 close calls, Thomas and Fitzpatrick. They settle for par. Koepka with a birdie 2 in this group. Amazed already. 4 birdies at the 11th. With that whole location in years past, we've seen days in which there are only a birdie or 2 for the entire round.
Soft greens, Grant, and it's 2020.
Indeed.
Everything's been turned on its head.
And there's that look back at the 12th teeing ground, which is one of the most heavily populated areas on the course. Let's listen in.
Selected a 9-iron. One thing about Dustin Johnson, once he is convinced, there's never any hanging around. One look and you'll pull the trigger.
Down just a hair. Down just a hair.
The game is coming
yes.
easy to the world's #1 right now.
Revy, what are you thinking?
It's world #1. Here's the 3rd ranked player in the world, Justin Thomas.
3 medal, looking way right. Trying to bend this from the right.
You're lucky. You're lucky. Couldn't hear anything.
Coming off that birdie at the 11th. Here's Cantlay at the 12th.
It's a very simple action he possesses, whereas Dustin Johnson hits the ball really high. Cantlay drives the golf ball in a little flatter. Two ways to do it, both good.
A little long, huh?
Let's move up to the 13th and a third shot for Colin Morikawa. Excellent. Here's Rory at the 12th.
It's time to get a little run going on. That's a good start.
Okay. Yes, out of the blocks. Needing to make a run. He's won 4 major championships, but the last of those was 2014. This is his 6th attempt to win the Masters, which would be the 4th and final leg for him of the Grand Slam. Birdie putts here at the 13th. 11 a.m. in Augusta, Georgia. Adam Scott, how quick will this be?
It'll be pretty quick. The first 5 feet flat, but then it will accelerate as it gets toward the cup. And putting all the way downhill and all the way towards Rays Creek there. It's a fast one.
We talk about breaks that you need to get, whoever you are, over the course of 72 holes to win a huge tournament, to win any tournament. Adam Scott was inside the penalty area with the second shot back in 2013, but the ball stayed up. He was able to get it up and down, eventually for par. Went on to win that playoff with Angel Cabrera. This weather, you mentioned it, Mark, as we see the sunshine on the 13th green. Tyrrell Hatton lining up a putt. The contrast from yesterday with the overcast conditions and the heavy rains just a little over 24 hours ago. Conditions are just spectacular, and as you say, we are already, aren't we, beginning to see these greens firm up.
Tyrrell just struggling to get the golf ball to stay lodged in the position when he replaces the ball next to the ball mark there. So if he can't get it to be still, he'll just put it as close as possible to that spot and not near the hole. You want to be careful here. You want to make sure that that golf ball stays still, because you don't want to address a moving golf ball.
We often see that problem, keeping the golf ball still in the wind, but in benign conditions, I don't know that you ever see it more than here at Augusta National.
Oh, absolutely. And it's imperative to get the mind clear once you've gone through this, because it's easy to hit this one with a lack of focus because you're worrying about whether the golf ball is stably situated or not. So time to get into the routine. All's good. Take advantage of this opportunity.
The cut line at the moment, remember, we're very early in round 2, remains at 1 under. Here's Cantlay for birdie at 12.
That's one you'd like to forget. The wry smile. Good look down the hill, not too much break, and then you deliver that one. That'll leave a sour taste in the mouth.
See if Colin Morikawa can get it to 2 under.
Just on the right edge. Really not too much movement at all. Little short stroke there. Typically his putting stroke is a lot smoother. That was a very fast change of direction. Not his best attempt.
Rory really needs something to happen. 3rd hole of round 2 for birdie.
Finally.
Here it comes. Yes.
Finally.
McIlroy moves to 1 over. Just his 3rd birdie in 21 holes. One of the most prolific players in terms of birdie totals. PGA Tour.
See him already looking down 13 fairway, charting the plan for the tee shot. Earlier this morning hit a horrid one into the trees on the left hand side and spent a stroke.
Dustin Johnson in his 11th Masters, tied for 2nd last year. At no point has the world #1 ever had a lead at the end of a Masters round until this morning. He birdied 18 to shoot 65 to tie Paul Casey and Dylan Fratelli for the lead. Now he's trying to increase his advantage to 2.
Perfection.
Right in the heart.
Perfection. And he's in a place right now, Grant, where he can really accelerate. Of the 2 sides, 10, 11, 12, that's the more difficult start than the front loop. And now Dustin's got 2 par 5s in front. He could extend this lead in a big way.
2 par 5s that he can reach with short irons, providing he hits good tee shots. But a birdie at the 11th and this birdie at 12 has moved Dustin Johnson to 9 under par, 2 clear of the field as he searches for his 4th victory since the restart in mid-June. Here's the 2nd shot for Brooks Koepka at 13.
Has spoken of learning the nuances around Augusta National, and well executed. One of those nuances here on 13, is always the fact that the yardage plays about 10 yards longer than you think. That was a perfect call by him and Ricky Elliott.
Yeah, I didn't see why not. You're off with yeah.
All right, so both Justin Thomas and Matthew Fitzpatrick went left off the tee. And each had to take unplayable lies. Got it to this point, so a 4th shot here for Justin Thomas.
Just a layup play for JT. Played a couple of practice rounds with Tiger Woods earlier this week, and all in an effort to learn this golf course a little better. It's proving fruitful thus far.
Weird. All right, so we're going to clarify here. Originally, the word we got was that they had to take unplayable lies, but we will get that sorted out. That could have been his 3rd shot. And how about this at the 11th? Justin Rose, I believe.
That ball had to have plugged inside of the penalty area's margin to take that big a swing. Caught a lot more golf ball than he was expecting.
Zach Johnson at the 11th. Here's Fitzpatrick. This is his 3rd shot. So we are getting word that In the case of Thomas and Fitzpatrick, we just saw Thomas from the fairway and now Fitzpatrick. Those were their third shots, so no penalties for unplayable lies. Koepka, meanwhile, has a putt for eagle upcoming. Dustin Johnson, birdie at 11, birdie at 12, and now on the tee at the 13th.
And very disciplined right now as he just waits for the traffic to clear. He's comfortably powerful enough to take it up and over the corner, but going with 3 metal, just trying to swing one into play. He knows with that club he can still get a medium iron to the par 5 green, so very prudent from Dustin Johnson.
All right.
And the pine straw this morning, and maybe just a touch short of it there. McIlroy off the birdie at 12. Needs a good tee shot here to keep the momentum going.
And trying to force the issue with driver. He had a high hook into trouble earlier today.
All right.
Did he overcompensate?
It's the professional recovery. If you've hit a left early, you'll hit the right to follow. And right's better than left around this golf course, and certainly here at 13.
True. So we will see if he has any kind of a shot. The cables are moved. So Justin Rose, we saw the third shot from inside the penalty area, or over on that bank at the very least, to go over the green, other side of the green. Fourth shot to this point, this for bogey. And that's the kind of start you can have when you tee off on 10. Cantlay, 13T.
Very balanced action. Swings the ball from right to left very comfortably.
Yeah, all done.
Okay, he'll be in great position. Justin Thomas trying to scramble his way to a par here at the 13th, fourth shot.
An area of the game he has made dramatic strides with. But this one's a little difficult. Side hill lie, playing to green below you, and the water just shy. Careful.
Oh no. It is a little thicker on that bank.
Yeah, but that ball was ripping back in a hurry.
I think he's in. That was his fourth shot, remember.
Well, however it's going, things are going in the wrong direction for Justin Thomas, who could do no wrong in round 1. Opened today with
Coming down. Left edge. Back
a
down.
bogey, and now things going wrong for Justin Thomas.
Yes.
We understand that ball with Justin Thomas is up, so there'll be a fifth shot coming up
50 swing.
from the bank. Zach Johnson at the 12th.
He hit a gem into the back hole location this morning with a 9-iron. Was unable to convert from about 6 feet. This one should suit his eye. The winds are beginning to swirl a little bit here on the 12th hole, Grant.
And maybe more than anywhere else in the world of golf, just a little bit of wind can cause a whole lot of havoc
Yeah.
at Amen
I like that
Corner.
all day. I think it's
55.
fairly
Fast.
stock. Yeah. Yeah.
See the
I think
flag
it's
on
mostly
11
like-
moving, and the flag on
Yes.
12. Flag on 12 is limp right now.
Okay, so a fifth shot here for Justin Thomas. Could he muster some magic?
Looks like he has intention. Lots of purpose about those practice swings. It's really pretty routine.
Well, the tee shot got him in trouble. Can't wriggle out of it. He'll be 2 over for the day. Cameron Champ at 12.
With a pitching wedge.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Say the number, Lord?
It did come back a little. It's behind that tree branch.
The actual number, though.
Yeah, 47.
Yeah, okay.
But a tough shot. Sungjae M. Shot 66 in his first tournament round of the Masters.
He's aggressive. Very aggressive iron player, Sungjae M.
Justin Rose at the 12th.
It's time to settle down, make one good swing, get this round on the tracks. Couple bogeys to start. The key, though, is to just judge how fast this golf ball is going to travel with a slight trail wind. Well done.
2 over the green. Rose hole high. And here's Matthew Fitzpatrick. Par.
That'll be the first misstep of his second round.
Can't afford many more.
No, sir. Not at 3 over par. Not with the way this cut's looking right now.
Colors among the vast differences in the Masters in November versus April. Dustin Johnson is one of those men for all seasons. 3 wins already since the restart after the COVID pandemic break. Now Brooks Koepka for eagle at 13.
He's coming off the birdie on 12. Just grazes the top edge. I would have been interested in the look of that one. That was on a really sound line, just failed to break.
Koepka was outside the top 70 earlier, 2 over par. Now he's got this to move into the top 20. This is for birdie to get to 3 under.
And looking pretty good right now, but the real problem is I don't make the early call because there is so much time left. But Dustin Johnson just looks downright unbeatable right now. Driving the ball well, hitting irons perfectly, making putts, and just looking more calm than anyone else. He seems to have it all figured out. So these guys are going to have to reach beyond themselves and do something really special.
Bogey putt for Thomas. And as the winds kick up, go back to find Dustin Johnson, Rory Mcilroy, who've laid up. Patrick Cantlay, as the leaves fall, he's trying to take all of these variables in and make a decision. Take a look at these 3 players and how they began this 13th. McIlroy in the pine straw. Dustin Johnson back a little too far for his liking as the wind has begun to freshen.
The Dustin Johnson decision to lay up just shows the discipline we were talking about. From 204 yards, easy for him to get there.
I mean, if it's a lower one, yes. But again, I'm always left of flag. Like, you hit that gust, and that's going to struggle.
Yeah, because I was thinking about him like that. Well, a low cut originally.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't see that shot, that club at all now. want to pitch this 95. That's 5 past the pin, correct? With that wind, it's playing,
Yeah.
and that's 10 to 15 yards of wind at the moment.
There's only so long you can drop the anchor and wait for the gust of wind to blow through. It's now time to commit. Good call there by Matt Minister, Patrick Cantlay's caddy. Pull a club that gets you about 5 yards beyond that flag if you miss.
On a Friday morning, but a big moment. Just enough. And he'll be rewarded with a putt for eagle.
This wind squall has just shown up out of nowhere, Grant. Conditions have been idyllic, and all of a sudden, I think Augusta National has said, that's enough of that with all these birdies and eagles and such.
It has a way of doing that, doesn't it?
Every year.
Patrick Cantlay, 28 years old. His career began in fits and starts. Back injury, tragedy off the course with the loss of a dear friend in a car accident at which Cantlay was present. As he's now won 3 times, moved into the top 10 of the world rankings. And here's a player, Sung Jae Im, who burst onto the developmental tour of the PGA Tour, and there are some longtime observers of that tour, which goes back to 1990, originally named for Ben Hogan, that say he's as fine a player who's ever come off that tour, and that's a circuit that has produced numerous major champions through the years. Sung Jae Im. First Masters and a 66 in round 1.
And that read there is, that just shows a little inexperience around the grounds at Augusta National. That putt looks a lot straighter than it plays. Perennially has, always does. You said earlier about how reading that whole location there on 11 is always difficult.
Third shot at the 13th for our leader, Dustin Johnson.
That was a gorgeous strike and another spectacular shot. Full flight, Dustin Johnson.
We'll go several years without anyone birdieing, or maybe an eagle, bettering par on all 3 holes the same day at Amen Corner. Dustin Johnson has a great chance to do that here and increase his lead. M. Very well done. 4 birdies already at the 11th. But that has been before. These 4 birdies have been before the winds picked up. Third shot for Rory. That won't come back. He was a little too close, maybe.
No, it's just the difference between a guy who's playing well, who's feeling yardages, who's swinging well, who's convicted about what he's doing, and someone that's just a little off the boil, and that's what Rory Mcilroy finds himself.
Former #1 Rory and current #1 Dustin Johnson. 2 straight birdies and a chance at a 3rd at the 13th to increase his lead to 3. Birdie putt for Justin Rose at the 12th.
That's what you need. See the fist pump. That's meaningful there after 2 bogeys. Re-establish a little order in his world.
And remember the bogey save at 11. That was not an easy putt from about 6 feet. Back we go to 13. It was an eagle at the 15th hole on Sunday in the final round last year that moved Patrick Cantlay into the lead alone. He's got a long putt for eagle here that he's going to go to the other side of the hole to size up.
This one is going to take a lot of investigation.
3 eagles in round 1. With the whole location up on the top shelf. Up there where Rory Mcilroy is at the moment.
Yeah, early. Because I was up there, almost on that next lead. Yeah.
Patrick Cantlay has a long putt for eagle here this morning in round 2.
This one is going to take all of his prodigious skill, creativity, imagination, and then commitment. It's all about picking the start line and visualizing how the golf ball will approach the cup.
While he visualizes, let's go over to the 12th and Sungjae Im.
No flag is ever left untouched when this man's over the golf ball. Such an aggressive iron player.
Wow. You see that slight delay right after he takes the club back. Now the eagle attempt for Cantlay at 13.
2 from here would be just fine. Settle down now. Easy. Okay, very nice.
Much better stroke than the one we saw at 12 for birdie. And that for Cantlay to get to 3 under. This is the 12th. Victor Perez.
So methodical in his approach. Beautiful grip. Big wide arc. Powerful strike of the Frenchman. Perplexed. This 12th hole.
Yes.
This 12th hole. You love it.
Universal reaction. No matter the language, you know that look, the shake of the head. It's been happening for 84 Masters now. McIlroy for birdie.
He's got a little something percolating. This would be a huge one for Rory's cause.
Just touches it. Well, he's going to play the 13th in 1 over first 2 rounds, and he hopes that he has a 3rd round and a 4th round to come. He's outside the cut line at the moment. Brendan Todd at 12.
Okay, leave himself an uphill putt. That breeze is really freshening now. Down on 12 but swirling. That means it's down on 11, down on 10. Makes that start a little more palatable.
Dustin Johnson in this incredible star-crossed career. Even Dustin Johnson will tell you that he would have, should have, could have won maybe twice as many as his 23 career victories. He's only 36 years old. In other words, he's got a decade left, one would think, barring injury, to add to that total. 1 major championship, but eyeing a 2nd and a putt here for a 3rd straight birdie and a 3-shot lead.
Again, has been lining up the golf ball to help his alignment, and it bears mention really quickly, Grant. He finished his morning round with 3 birdies in his last 4 holes. Already 2 in the early going, and this one for his 3rd. Oh man, he has found a rich vein of form. Look out.
He birdies his way around Amen Corner, and the world number 1 is leading it by 3.
And that's Dustin Johnson over the moon.
And don't forget, he's got a par 5 that he can reach in 2. Cantlay for birdie. Well played hole for Cantlay. Fine drive. Well judged second. 2 putts for birdie.
Yeah. You thought we were going to wait now. Stand there for 5 minutes.
Well, Grant, we're not even 27 holes into this 84th Masters, and someone's already at double digits.
Yeah. Last year there were 11 players who finished the Masters in double digits under par. It was the easiest the Masters tournament has ever played. Now Perez. At last year's Masters, Mark, Victor Perez was 137th in the world. He's now 36th. Do well to make 3 here.
Certainly will. But very dialed in. You could see him standing behind the golf ball, visualizing the passage of the second shot. The thing about the putter is you're going to have to hit it pretty hard to make it up the slope to get to the green. But then once you're on the green, it's fast downhill. Tough to judge. Down now. All right, very nice.
First Masters appearance for the Frenchman. Coming off a second place finish at flagship event of the European